Okay, this is part 2 of July the 16th, Sheet the Wings off the bay. I'm at Crosswinds Apartment still. Instead of just going to the restroom, I went upstairs because we have two different types of Wi-Fi. I mean, we have the same type of Wi-Fi, but we have, so it's two different systems that you can use with the Wi-Fi. So one system allows us to use the Wi-Fi in our apartment. This is what I was confused about, but Imani said this is what is probably going on, why when I'm in a gym, all of a sudden the Wi-Fi just stopped working. But I was like, but we were using or able to use the Wi-Fi here at Crosswinds so many times before. So nonetheless, then there's another system where you have to pay a little bit more separately for about a month. It's Infinity, to allow your device to be connected with Wi-Fi wherever you go. So I had to connect Imani's tablet. I have Imani's tablet and I have my tablet. So now what I'm about to do is continue. So I went all the way upstairs, used the restroom, excuse me, came back. So, hold on. Somehow my bag is here, strapped. I didn't realize, gotta be careful. Let's see. Definitely don't want to fall, because when you are among those that can force engage your body, so a lot of things that look like to be a simple accident that humans have made, and like, how did I do that? Like, you see movies where they make movies showing, I forgot what was the name of that movie, where there was always some type of bad accident happen to a certain people. I forgot the name of it. So what it is, truly what's going on is the United States government and other foreign entities that's on this landmass have created lab freaks or lab experiments that are able to force engage with the body, the human body, and the mind. And which, if you don't know, your mind goes in autopilot, or you looking this way, you do something that can cause yourself harm this way. That's exactly what's going on. So this is how it all goes back to money and blood ritual sacrifice, satanic ritual sacrifice of harm. So this is how those that are corrupt in the hospital field, medical centers, the corrupt doctors, not all, corrupt nurses, this is pharmaceutical companies, this is how they have made their money for over 100 years, because they lab freaks. So, and then they flip it and make a movie about it, a horror movie, and make it in a manner where it's not really demonstrating what is really going on, until you come to realize, if you had the telepathic code, which we don't, Imani Bey and I don't, you realize that they were actually demonstrating truth and laughing and literally and feeding off the horror experience. So they're like, because whatever is involved in doing such things are in a deep, demonic, unclean darkness. So they create horror movies about these things to see the reaction of the humans, because the humans don't realize that it's not, they thinking it's not really happening, it's not really real, a lot of them. A lot of us, I know I did for years, and those that was around me. So it's easier to watch a horror flick when you don't think it's really real. But now that so many got the telepathic code and they see the truth, but they're not able to talk about it because they're afraid what's in the code, what the United States government that's unnaturalized and other foreign entities can do with their minds. So now they're literally, some of them, not all, are just walking and demonstrating as much freedom as possible, in demonstrating truth. not in, I'm going to say not all, because some that are really in and ready to transition if they're not in the spirits of freedom, natural law, like many Moors, many non-Moors who are in constitutional law or other forms of natural law in different countries. They are literally ready to transition, such as myself, which Allah forbid I would have to do that, or Imani Great Bay. I hope he is in that state of mind before they release that energy, that law in their thoughts, behavior, their being of natural law, organic natural law. It is about 11:30. I'm going to just do about 30 minutes. Right now, I heard like AI, Spanish speaking accent, speak through the music, and I'm feeling the pain in my right knee. Spanish accent, and before that, it was a black Negro male accent, AI, going through the music and said brother. And the black Negro female accent. The foreign entities can be from China, Arab countries. So what people don't want to maybe accept, that brother, that's a lab animal, and his females have been terrorists, being used by these foreign entities and the unnaturalized United States government for a long time. And that's why the black community, they kept saying the health was so high. Because they had these animals in the population planting thoughts, coming through the TV, the radios. And now you got the black Negroes, or those that are African Americans or Moors that are out of status, and or their mind is gone and they transform into a human, some type of transhuman, They are so loyal, the males and females. I mean, they could be out of shape, going to the doctor every 2 weeks, diagnosed with STDs, HIV. But I guess, I mean, if they're being attacked in all ways, all forms, it can get to a point where you just don't give up. You give up, and that person, that original person, is gone. So all you see is a body walking with a brother and his females, which were used by foreign entities. It could, an example, just give an example, not accusing China, Russia, not accusing Russia, whoever, and the United States government have been using for a long time as terrorists for over 100 years. That's why the Black Negro accents are so prevalent in our apartment here in the United States military, because the military that's unnaturalized is being used by the foreign entities and have been for a long time. As terrorists upon the naturalized inhabitants, the natural beings that are in the potential of raising the frequency, their frequency, and the frequencies of the earth, implementing those divine cosmic laws that is what has always been of freedom, love, and so many other peace, and so many other divine energies. That's why, and that's true. Keeping it real for the Black Negroes that like to pull up my information and take pictures, and others like them. And that's why the Spanish-speaking accents as well are in our apartment from South Central America, Mexico. And they are connected to the naturalized military. Predominantly, not the only ones. No, no, that's not that. So right now, pale skin females are forced engaging. So usually when, especially if it's recorded, hearing a lot of feedback in Annapolis, which they're all connected in reference to that behavior manner, the pale skins that say or imply 33 a lot, not all that say it, has a bad intention or a negative intention of satanic blood ritual. They start forced mental engaging, especially with Imani. But the common thread are the foreign entities that could be from China, could be Russia, Arab nations that the United States military like to keep them on a hush-hush and focus on places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, and so forth, and different places in Africa. And the unnaturalized United States government, the federal government unnaturalized the military. That's the common thread. So everything happens for a reason. And the reason with me demonstrating and trying my best to implement the spirit of truth as much as possible as a naturalized Moor who affirmed uphold constitutional laws, which includes the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and all 4 of Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. The 13th Amendment with 20 sections was ratified November the 18th, 1865. In section 19, it speaks of a form of freedom, a spirit of freedom that we is supposed to be aiming for as we reclaim our actual freedom. And this is in the naturalization, the true naturalization under the true organic Constitution of 1787. So I'm going to continue. So now the pale skin, usually it's females and males. It's just like seeing a racist pale skin all of a sudden, or implied to be racist. Like a skinhead, all of a sudden start looking at you angrily, mean, following close behind you in front of a group of black people. All that is rituals. So, especially the blacks are saying brother pain, and so forth. Because I've experienced all this, okay, here in Annapolis, where the military is prevalent, Navy and Army, and other forms of the military. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go stretch, and I'm gonna walk for a little while. I'm gonna pause it. Okay, once again, sheet the way back for the day. It is July the 16th, 2026. And it says I did 1 mile, 0.20. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I could have. So anyway, let me see, I got a pad. I think I'll be okay. So anyway,